Hey everybody, we're back and it is episode 13, lucky number 13, my 13th reason why. Let's do our
How to lose a guy in 13 days.
It's not 13 days.
Just,
Big dummy.
come on, I'm just ad-libbing here.
Oh, okay.
Play along.
All right. I don't know why I did that. I'm tired. All right. Well, welcome back. It's episode 13, and we're very excited to be back. You guys have been crushing it on the comments, and it's so funny because it's almost like, oh, someone's going to talk shit. Now we're really going to get down deep in the comments, and you guys have been crushing it. So thank you so much. Our little ant army is going off, and I love it. Let's kick it off with some really cool DMs that we got.
Please.
How does that sound?
Sounds awesome.
Okay, this one's from Megan Burns, 8190. She said, "Hi fam, loyal aunt and ACU fan here. Just want to say I've been listening to since the beginning, and your videos about career financial advice have been so helpful. My boyfriend was laid off from his corporate job in November, and it turned our lives upside down. I've been holding it down as it's been hard out here for him to land something. The past few months, I have sat his ass down and we sit around the table and listen and watch your podcast and take notes. We are 26 and 27, both come from tumultuous backgrounds. I'm happy to say the offers are finally coming in, but his most promising option is Philly Police Department. What do you think about that?
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Philly PD. And like Tate, it's not necessarily where we morally align. High five, Megan. But it is a means to an end, and he's a great guy, so I know he will be one of the good ones. Awesome. He also passed the physical written test with flying colors. Thanks for talking about your experience and the advice you both give. That's awesome.
That's awesome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I know. Tell him to keep a good head on his shoulders, man. That's kind of crazy. He's going to be fine.
Sure. And like you said earlier, it's just a means to
an end.
An end.
And that's what it was for you, too.
Correct.
You didn't grow up saying, I want to be a police officer. Right?
No, I absolutely did not.
What did you want to do when you?
I don't know.
Did you ever think about that?
When I was a kid, there was all kinds of things. You know, you want to be like an astronaut. I think I thought about that for a second.
So like the cliche, I want to be a firefighter.
No, and I like to play sports. But I never really thought I was going to play a professional sport. I just said I like to play. It's fun. Basketball's like my favorite thing to do as a kid. So. But I never said I'm going to play in the NBA. I like to play basketball. It was fun.
So you had no goals?
I don't think so. No aspirations.
I'm just here for the vibes.
Living day to day.
I just bring the vibes. No goals, no dreams, just vibes.
Good vibes.
The best vibes. Aw, well, we're so happy for you, Megan, and your boyfriend. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Benefits are probably ass kicking, like really good benefits.
That's one of the biggest reasons why I stayed for so long.
Girl, tell me about it. I was all, yeah, it's your turn to carry the thing that keeps us alive, health insurance. Jesus.
Especially in the state of California.
What is wrong with our country, man? Jeez. Crazy. Okay, so the next one is from, their handle is Who Cares, Who Cares, Who Cares?
Nice.
They said, "Hi fam, I was recently laid off from my dream job in compliance. My job meant so much because I felt like I was helping to educate people on inclusion. When the giant Cheeto monster made those executive orders, it caused a huge rift in compliance and DEI, and I was laid off. Boo.
Boo.
Big boo. Luckily, I was able to repackage myself and got hired back at the same company on a different team. Yay. Everyone has been so kind, and I'm astonished by the brainiacs on my team every day. Watching y'all help me suck it up and keep it moving. I have a tendency to wallow, and you help me find a balance between feeling and doing.
Awesome.
Love y'all."
Hey, the amazing thing with that is just like anything else, I believe, if something bad happens, that just means something's amazing is going to happen.
Yeah. Well, we always tell our kids.
Yeah.
That's the universe just like teaching you a lesson. Yeah. And like testing your last nerve and seeing what kind of resilience you have.
Yeah, what kind of consistency you can give.
Yeah. But it's basically the universe. This is what we always tell the kids. The universe is planning something bigger and better. But they got to punch you in the teeth first.
Unfortunately, I got to see if you can take it.
They got to punch you in the, like karate chop you in the throat.
Yeah.
And then see how resilient you are. And if you still keep it pushing, something awesome is going to happen to you.
A couple drop kicks.
Yeah. A couple drop kicks to your groin. It's all good. As long as you can withstand it. Yeah. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to you.
Same.
That's what happened to Drew.
Yeah.
Dason. Like we've all been through it. You know who hasn't been through it?
Donnie.
The Prince of Persia. Donovan. Donnie Dumps. That motherfucker just vibes and just shows up and just the sweetest thing on the earth.
Yeah.
And like that's why the universe is like, you're good.
Yeah.
Leave
him alone.
Yeah. I'm not gonna punch you in the throat. I'm gonna go ahead and pass you. I'm gonna karate chop your sister in the throat.
Is that your dad right there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell him an uppercut's coming.
Yeah. Tell him I'm on my way. But that's awesome. You kept it pushing and then you got hired back.
I know.
And you know what I love the most about this is that they said I repackaged myself.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to know who taught you how to do that because no one taught me how to do that. I had to figure that out on my own. And then once I figured it out, it was easy to like kind of hop around every 2 years and get a job. So cool.
I know. Smart.
Maybe they got it from us when I talked about, hey, if you've been at a job 2 years, once you hit that 2-year anniversary, it's time to look for a new job. You have more skills. You have more accolades probably. Repackage yourself, get a better job, higher pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Corner office, that kind of thing.
However it happened, congratulations.
Yes.
I think it's amazing.
That is an ant brag. Woo! We love it. Okay. This one was cute. I just clipped it so I could say it. And this is from R. Martinez 6430. And they said, y'all are so real. The end. And that was very impactful.
It was.
And that's why it gets read. Yeah.
It was, to be honest, because that's what I like to be. I would hope to be. I would hope to come off as.
Yeah.
And when we're doing this thing,
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
want to be fake. I don't want to be.
Listen, I couldn't be fake if I wanted to. It literally would hurt my skin. Like, you know when you get the flu and then your skin just starts to hurt?
Yeah.
You take a shower and it feels like fire's raining down on your skin. That's how I feel when someone thinks I can be fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to go to this party? Who's going to be there? That's the first question I ask. And they say so-and-so. And I'm like, yeah, no, I can't. I can't be fake. I'm going to be a bitch.
Sure.
So I'm going to go ahead and stay home. I don't have it in me. What about you?
No, I can't because it's not me. And in fact, I'm a bad liar.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh, I'm the worst.
So I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm a bad liar. It makes me nervous. I already have high anxiety as it is. So I start faking it, pretending something, it's going to make it just 10 times worse. So
Hold that thought about your anxiety. We're going to talk about that in a second. Okay, this is the last one. This is from Kitty Marie 33. Kitty's a big fan, and I think we've read one of hers before.
Sounds familiar.
So she timestamped it. It said 2231. Yeah. I just want to say, seeing you guys genuinely laugh with one another is so sweet to watch. Y'all just giggle and laugh and joke and keep everything super light and kind, always with one another, and it's extremely inspiring. One day, I hope to giggle with my partner as much as y'all do. So, Kitty Marie, the universe is gonna maybe punch you in the teeth and then bring you someone you can giggle with. So, or maybe you punch your partner in the teeth and then you can giggle about that. Tate and I have done that once in a while. Just kidding. Like verbally. No, I'm just kidding. It's late. I'm sorry. Okay. So going back to your anxiety.
Yeah.
Speaking of anxiety.
Yeah.
We had, how did it come up again?
I can't remember. I think it's the car wash video.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you haven't watched our TikTok or my TikTok that I put on my TikTok, every time we go to the car wash, it's quick quack or even just a drive-through. If there's people working there, Tate always gets nervous and it's hard for him to put our car in neutral. So listen, I'm going to preface this by saying don't come at our throat because we don't claim him, but we do have a Tesla. So if you have a Tesla, you know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to put it in neutral. You have to have feather hands to or you know what I mean? It's just a really light touch.
Sure.
And even Drew, myself, like
Mm-hmm.
when I first went through, I had trouble. And it's nerve-wracking. But every time Tate goes through the car wash,
Mm-hmm.
he sweats. He keeps throwing it in reverse like 5-6 times. And then and then the person at the Crick Quack goes, I don't know, do you want to tell it?
No, well, that
Look at, he's already getting nervous.
can't even fucking talk about it. But okay, listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Now, the worst time ever. Now, let's go back to the Tesla. We bought it before that fucking idiot. Okay, so we bought it before the idiot went south. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll put that out there too. Anyways, the car wash. There's a lot of things going on at the car wash. It's an automated system. You drive through. Right, you follow one another, and then as you're getting into the actual car wash itself, there's a guy there or a girl there, either or they're always working, and they're spraying this little hose of water. I don't know what they're spraying.
What is that for? If anybody knows, at Quick Quack, they're all over the country. Yeah. They have that like little stick that has water coming out of it, and they go like this, and then they go, on your car.
Yeah.
Shh. like. Is it for looks? What is it for? It doesn't do anything. Anyway, go ahead.
Maybe it's to do the initial wet of the car before it actually goes. I don't know.
On one side of the car. It doesn't hit the other side of the car. Just your driver's side window? I don't know.
So anyways, they're doing this little guide thing, right? Because they're getting you to line up your tires on the tracks, right? So that's the first thing you got to think about when you're driving in there. You got to line your tires up on the tracks because you don't want to go crooked.
Right.
Right. And then you got to look at them as they're telling you, so you don't want to hit the car in front of you. Right. So you got to go slow. Right. And then once you get into these automated tracks, you got to put your car in neutral. Right. So with the Tesla, it's a hair fucking trigger. the fucking stick to change gears is like a hair fucking trigger to put it in neutral. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Because,
well, it's because Tate has these big banana hands.
No,
so
but I
like,
mean, all the other ones are basic. It's like park as you press the button, right? Push down to the R, push down a couple more downs to the D, right? Which is drive.
Okay.
Right? But then to put neutral, you got to go up, right? And if you do it too hard, it goes in reverse. If you too hard down, it goes into drive. So that's what I was doing this one time. It was horrible. It was not this time that she did. It was horrible. It kept going reverse drive. Reverse drive, reverse drive. And then this guy, right? Not only the water guy, right? Another guy comes out of this because the water guy hits the fucking giant button. Oh, no, he doesn't hit it. He calls the supervisor to come out. I need help because these guys, they're not keeping the...
No, okay, wait. First, the guy goes, he has his little water, and then he goes, he goes, there's like...
Oh, that's right.
There's like, no, there's letters, right? And he's pointing to the N for neutral.
Yeah.
So he's got his little stick and he's going.
Yeah.
And then he's going. Here's Tate.
Yeah. Reverse drive, reverse drive, reverse drive, and then it's holding up the line.
Well, it's pulling the car in too, and it's not in neutral yet.
No. So it's holding up that track that pushes the tires, right?
No, it's not holding it up. It's pulling us in, but you're not supposed to be in there if you haven't put it in neutral.
Right. So, anyways, it's starting to slow things down. So they have a system going where you have to go one car, like right after the other. So I'm slowing it down. So he needs help. Some guy comes out and starts knocking on the window.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. My anxiety is already off the chain. I'm not gonna open my window. I'm like, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
But it keeps going reverse drive.
And then I was like, what are you doing?
Right. And then I'm pressing the brake. She's yelling, what's going on?
No, I'm like, push the brake because he didn't have his foot on the brake.
There's too many things going on. Right. Okay. There's too many chefs in the kitchen trying to bark orders. I got that guy outside my window. And then the guy outside the window turns around, presses the giant red button that stops everything.
Yeah.
And then you see everything just shut down.
It goes, and those little swishy things, they go, and then they just stop.
Everybody.
It's like on a train, on a train when you pull the lever and then the train goes, it stops. Yeah. That's what that is.
Yeah. And then it makes a big old, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody in the train knows someone's holding up the line. There's people behind me. There's more people behind me. And that guy's still knocking on the window. And I'm just going reverse drive, reverse drive. Finally, I get into neutral, and then it goes, right? By that time, my hands are all sweaty. My head's is sweaty. It's just an awful experience. And then that shit don't go away. It's like stays with me throughout the car wash. It's like the anxiety because it's just killing me, man.
Yeah.
It makes me want to jump out that fucking window of the car. I just want to get out of there. And then I got to still pull it over, find a parking spot, get out, dry it. No, I want to get out of it and drive away with the wet car. I don't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? It's so bad.
I can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying. He swears I'm yelling, but I'm not. I'm like, put your foot on the brake.
You're yelling at me.
I was not
You're yelling at
yelling.
me.
No, I wasn't.
Well,
you just think I am because you're already wigging out because of your anxiety, and there's too many things going on.
It sounds. Yeah. I don't think you're yelling at me. I'm saying that because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because I'm panicked.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? And the anxiety.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Anxiety's already like, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
But and so anyways, we made the video and we had such a good feedback on it that we decided to make another.
Well, let me back up. You told the first story.
Yeah.
Then it happened again.
Yeah.
The second time we went back, except this time it was only like 4 times.
Yeah.
Like reverse drive. And then this third time, as we're pulling around the corner to go into the bay, I was like, oh, where's my phone?
Right.
I'm going to, because the last 2 times I'm like, man, I wish I would have remembered.
Yeah.
But I'm so worried about him being panicked that I'm just watching, you know. And this time, the third time I said, are you going to do it this time? And I'm like, filming him.
Sure.
And he got it on the second try.
But did you notice she never offered to drive on any of those? Any of those 3 times. She never said, I'll do it. I know how to put it in neutral. You don't have to have anxiety. She just said, we got to take the car for a wash. And so when she says...
speaking of not being able to lie.
Listen. I just say that jokingly because I already know we're going to go to take the car to the car wash.
We always do it last minute. It's never planned.
I know. Well, sometimes in the morning you'll say, hey, I need to wash my car today.
Yeah.
Right? And my immediate thought is, I can't drive that car in the car wash.
And notice how he never says anything.
But I don't. Because why? Because I want to challenge it.
Yeah.
And I want to beat it.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's like exposure therapy.
Yeah, I want to beat it. So that's why I still do it.
I know.
You know what I mean? And look, I got it on 2 tries on that last one.
That was really good.
And I think I've done it where I got it the first try too. Or I want to say I have once before. Honey, the anxiety's it's still there. But
You haven't got it on the first try.
No?
No.
Okay.
This was the best one. It was 2.
Okay.
And I got it on tape. Or not tape. I got it on video.
Sure.
So I just thought it was funny. So I immediately posted it to TikTok. And so many people were like, oh my God, same. You know, Tait is so me. And I was floored because I posted it to Instagram too. And both places, everyone was like, oh my God, DMing me going, Jesus Christ, that's me, you know? And so it got me thinking, I'm still fascinated by introverts and people who have like a lot of anxiety. Everybody has some type of anxiety. I've had anxiety too. But when an introvert has anxiety, I don't relate because that's not me. I'm an extrovert through and through.
Sure.
Right? I can do stuff that you literally panic just thinking about. I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For instance, like I can return something at a store in person, don't care. My credit card back in the day when we were broke, or my ATM, we'd be at the register and then they go, oh, do you have another card? This one's denied. And I go, oh, try this one. As I'm handing the second card, he's already left for the parking lot. He's so embarrassed. You're so embarrassed.
I am.
So like stuff like that. So then I started thinking, man, and then I was talking to my friend Tanya and she was telling me, oh yeah, no. And then she was giving me examples of like what freaks her the fuck out because she's an introvert too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have lunch with Evelyn on Thursday and I'm going to ask her because she's an introvert too.
Sure.
What is it? I attract all these introverts and it's just now clicking that so many people, I think there's more introverts than there are extroverts.
Probably. I mean, well, the amazing thing too. Well, the amazing thing about Tanya is I had never knew when we first met them. She didn't come off to me as an introvert at all. So she's really good at what were you saying? Masking it. Is that the right word to use? She's really good at masking it, right? But then as we've gotten to know them and become really good friends, like best friends now I could see it, and now I understand it, and it makes sense that her and Anthony are a couple because Anthony's like you, who's an extrovert and will basically do it for her. So at first when I was like, fuck, he would do a lot of stuff for her, I was like, she doesn't seem like someone that would let you do that. Like she could do it on her own.
Yeah, she's like super independent.
Yeah.
But like all that to say, right? It's like I'm now starting to see how many people in my personal life are introverts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then to read some of the comments on the car wash, where people were sharing their own, that was like, man, I feel super seen right now, man, because
I feel so validated.
So because for the longest, I thought I was by myself.
Yeah.
And because I don't like to talk about it,
Yeah.
because I'm embarrassed about it, so I just keep it to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now within the last 2 or 3 years, I think I've just been more open about it, and trying to beat it in a sense, or try to control it if I can.
Or get better.
Get better with it. Yeah.
But I think in this last year, just this last year alone, I think because we have our podcast and we did that one episode on being an introvert, I think that has really opened your eyes too.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this car wash video that I put up on Saturday, it just went bananas, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, me too, me too." And then I said, "You know what? Let's do another episode on being an introvert, but this time let's talk about things that you do all the time, or you have to do all the time, and the anxiety never goes away because as an introvert, that shit never goes away. And the reason why I phrased the question like that when we put up a Google form for everyone to fill out was because Tanya had posted on that video saying, I hate the car wash. Every time I go, I get anxiety, and I've been doing it for how many years? Yeah. And that's what made me think, let me put up a Google form and ask, what are some of the things, as an introvert, what are some of the things you do all the time and you still get nervous or anxiety? Yeah? All right, so let's jump into it because, man, did you guys come with it. There was awesome. So many. We're not even going to be able to get to a fraction of these. Sure. So we are going to do a part 2.
We are. Because there's so many.
There's so many, and there's so many good ones. So let's jump right into it. Okay. This one's from Lizzie, and her pronouns are she, her. She said, listen, I'm fine getting a pap smear, but sitting on my balcony where everyone can see me, no thank you. That made me laugh. That's funny. Yeah. Because being on a balcony, people can see you. And like, I never think about that.
You know, Lizzie, being seen, period, that whole... like balcony, store, mall, sidewalk, right? Like I can't take it. And look at me. I'm freaking 6'6", 300 pounds. Like I stand out like a fucking sore thumb. Yeah. So I feel you, girl. I know exactly what you're seeing, man. I don't like balcony or walking on the street. I just don't want to be seen. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I thought that was so funny because it's so specific.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, not everybody has the balcony. So oh man, that shit's so funny. Yeah. And then she said other examples, ordering at the deli, adding your name at the, this one made me laugh too. Adding your name at the hostess stand while everyone is sitting and staring at you. And all I thought about was like, Denny's. You know, Denny's is always fucking packed. On a Saturday morning, you go up and they're like, your name? And you're like, Tate. Yeah. Looking around and everyone's sitting on the benches going.
I want to eat. I want to eat at Denny's, but I got to go through that.
Which he doesn't. I go and do it.
No, I'm just saying though. I got to stand there, and try to look invisible.
At 6'6", 300 pounds. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. You know what's even worse than Denny's is like, have you ever been to? Oh, you have Cheesecake Factory. They always have an hour plus wait. Yeah. The food's not that fucking good, but we still go. We still go. And that one's crazy because there's like 15 hostesses standing at that little bar, that little hostess desk, So, all right, Lizzie. Well, thank you for
sharing.
for sharing.
I'm thinking about all those things is making me nervous, man.
I know. I'm looking at you fidgeting, and I'm looking at your knee going crazy right now.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is from Lionel, and the pronouns are she, they. And they said, when I'm in a grocery store, this made me laugh so hard. Like, when I'm in a grocery store and there's someone looking at what I need to get, I used to just leave the aisle until they leave, even though that might have been the only thing I needed to get. So, like, someone's standing there looking at spaghetti sauce, and they come around and they're like, I need spaghetti sauce, but there's someone there. I'm going to wait. So they wait. And then they said, nowadays, I have less anxiety to ask the person, nicely, of course, if I can just grab it really quick. There are times when the anxiety of asking gets to me still.
Lionel, as I was listening to that, I was just going to say, but I've gotten better now.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll just say, hey, are you going to get it? Because I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Right? But then sometimes, just like you said, I'll come and I won't do it.
They said.
So, yeah, I'll come back in the same scenario and I won't do it.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know what it is.
It depends on what mood you're in.
I guess. If it's strong, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
The anxiety, right? But if it's strong and I can catch it, and then I'll just say it real quick. Hey, are you gonna get one of those? Because if not, I need to get one, right? I'll do it. But so that's so funny.
What's the ratio of you doing that though? Is it like 9 times out of 10 I'll ask?
Yeah.
Hey, can I jump in here real quick and grab a jar?
Yeah.
Or is it like 80-20? Is it 90-10? Like what is the...
I want to say it's like probably 80-20, maybe 90-10.
So 90% of the time you don't ask?
I won't. but I can relate because I've done it.
Yeah.
And it, like I was like, man, I have gotten better because I've done it before.
Yeah.
But I don't do it consistently.
Right.
There's days where I won't do it. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's there, but it's not there. Like I could do it, but then I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. They're like, I'll just leave the aisle until they leave.
Yeah. I'll just go and pretend like I'm going. And
even
I'll
if that's the only thing they went to the store for.
Even if that's the only thing I went to the store for. If someone's there and I can't do it, I'm going to go around the store until they leave.
What happens if someone else comes?
Then I got to do it again.
You'll keep doing laps?
I've done it twice like that, where it came back and someone else, I was like, fuck, come on, man. And I go, and then come back.
And I'm calling them all, where are you?
What a waste.
I just needed sugar. Where are you? Is that what takes you so long?
Well, I got to remember the aisle, because I always say, what aisle is it on? You go, remember the aisle? It's where this is that.
Yeah.
I go, okay, I know where it's at.
Yeah.
You know, but still, though, it's too much.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's awful.
Well, okay, so again, I'm fascinated at this because, like, not until this came up, not until the car wash, and we decided to do this, and then I'm reading, there's so many comments.
I know.
I am fascinated by
crazy.
this because there's more, okay? I know I keep saying that like a broken record, but I'm just like, it's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so this one is from Zoe, and her pronouns are she, her. She said, I hate going to the gym by myself. I have literally driven there by myself, sat in the parking lot, and driven back home because I'm worried about being judged.
Oh my God, I've done that. That's how I used to be at the beginning. Remember when we were in our careers, sometimes we go to LA Fitness?
Yeah.
And I would say, are you going to go today?
Yeah.
And you would say, I can't. I'm nowhere. And then I would go, okay, I'm going to go by myself.
Yeah.
Some days I would go and park in the car and I would look, too many people, I would come home.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go in.
Yeah.
But now I can go by myself.
Yeah.
I honestly say I think I've beaten that one.
Yes, you have.
Because I can go by myself and I can do my own thing. But if people start talking to me, then I start losing it. A little bit. I'm better now.
Yeah.
But before I used to just put my headphones on and just put a hood over my head and, you know, like, how can you, like, it's stupid. I'm trying to be invisible. But everywhere
He's trying to be a little ant.
everywhere I go. But I think I win at the gym because I can do it by myself now. And I can do all the stuff I want to do. And still talk to people, but not that much. But I wish I could, and I try. But
this one didn't make me laugh though, because this one was like, I'm really happy that you shared this, but this one is real for a lot of people.
It is.
More people than you know,
right?
Not just introverts.
Yeah, and I don't think it's not just introverts. I think it's also people that's never been. And they're not experienced.
Yeah, because they don't know how to use the machines. But they want to get fit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? people who have body dysmorphia like me, or an eating disorder, and it's all combined. And then you think everybody's looking at me,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
I had a twinge of that, like especially like after. I think it was after Donovan, and I always tell Donovan, "You ruined me," because I gained the least amount of weight with him, but my body changed so much, with him. So for me, I didn't feel good going to the gym, and I've done that. If there's too many people in there, I'm like, no, But a lot of people do that too because they don't know how to use the machines.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Yeah. But here's what I can tell you. Nobody's looking at you.
No.
Especially at the gym.
Yeah.
No one's gonna remember what pants you were wearing, if you were wearing leggings or a crop top or a big baggy shirt, or what we used to call a booty hider, which is a long sleeve shirt tied around your waist because, you can hide my big ass under a fucking shirt. No, it's just, my mindset. Nobody is looking at you, I promise. If anything, it's people like me who see people getting it in and showing up every day or being consistent. And I will literally walk up to that person and go, "Hey, I've seen you in here for months. I just want to say, I'm really proud of you. I know that sounds weird, but like, you're kicking ass in here." And the smile and the pride that washes across their face. First of all, it's shock. It's like, what do you want, kind of thing. And then when I say that, it sounds really weird, but I just want to say I'm proud of you because it takes a lot to get in here consistently like you. You're kicking ass. And then I just walk away. And then they just, man, they're just strutting their stuff. And then I see them the next time, and then they're like doing the wave,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the extrovert in you.
That it is.
It's not going to come from me.
I see you getting all nervous right now. It is. I have done that with you. And and then as soon as they walk away or we walk away, you'll go, "I don't know how you talk to strangers like that." I'm all, because I wish someone would tell me I'm doing a good job.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
I always ask you all the time when we go to do stuff together, something like that, or wherever we go.
Yeah.
And I see you talking to someone, and then I go, "Hey, who's that?" You go, "I don't know."
I know.
Or you just say, "Oh, I just met him right now. He's doing a great job in the gym, and I just want to tell him I was proud of him."
Oh, like that one guy I told you about. Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish I could do that. I can't do that.
Listen, if I see someone working hard, I'm gonna say something. You know.
Yeah.
But that's Zoe. That is a real thing.
It is.
I promise you. If you keep going, like Tate at the car wash, you're gonna get through it.
Yeah, I did that. It took me a while for the gym too, and once you get through it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things about getting over being an introvert, or like making new friends, or trying not to be so awkward in places because you're an introvert, is what Tate did. Like every day he would just say hi to one person.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, how you doing? How you doing?
Yeah.
And then that's helped you along the way. Yeah.
It has.
Yeah.
It has. You know what happens to me a lot, which is why I get embarrassed, is in these situations where I have to be social, like a gym, wherever, right? Like my hands get sweaty, my mouth starts to get super wet, like when I talk, right? And then I'm afraid I'm gonna spit on someone. When we're having, so all those things are crossing my mind, right? Are they gonna want to shake my wet ass hand? Are they gonna get too close whenever it goes? I'm gonna spit on them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so embarrassed.
I know when I was talking to Tanya, she said a bunch of things like that run through her mind, and I'm sitting there going,
Yeah,
I'm just floored.
yeah.
Like I don't even have space in my head to have that many thoughts at one time.
Dude, I feel a flap in my nose. Dude, is there a booger in my nose? Like when you're having, you feel a little like just breathing through your nose, but you feel a little flap in there. You're like, dude, is there a booger in my nose right now? Like,
and what do you do?
I kind of just go like scratch my nose, or I just pretend it doesn't exist, and then go to the bathroom and look at my nose.
And is there one there?
Sometimes there was. Sometimes there was. And then what does that do? I want to go hide. Right?
I'll never do this again.
It just reaffirms. See, I knew it. It's telling me the truth. Stop doing this.
Stop talking to people. Aww.
Yeah. So yeah, Tanya's totally right. All that shit.
I'm like, what do you mean all that's running through your head? I guess I live in La La Land. I'm just like, whatever,
man. I think you're just.
I don't think like that. That's a lot of thinking. I can't do that much thinking. I'm just like, because if I do, it's maybe two thoughts, maybe, and that's where my brain blasts come into play. I'll have one thought and I go, oh, brain blast. That's as much as I can keep in this noggin of mine.
Sure.
That's crazy that you guys have all those thoughts. Okay, let's get back into it. Okay, so this one is from Lauren. Her pronouns are she, her. She said, hey, Off Wallows, I've been an introvert my whole life, so I really appreciate hearing Tate's introvert stories. A random/funny anxiety I've been dealing with. Okay, so speaking of, you're worried about spitting on people, you're worried about having a booger hanging out of your nose. She said, I've been doing jujitsu for a year. Almost every class I go to, I get so scared I'm going to fart while people are literally wrestling me. The other week, I was partnered with a guy who's easily 6'4" and 270. We're doing live rounds, and he got his knee on my belly, and I farted so loud that I uncontrollably started laughing and had to take the rest of the round off. Anyways, I have a little bit less anxiety over farting in class, but I still think about it before every class. And I would recommend this sport to any introvert because it really forces you out of your comfort zone. Love y'all. Dude, I was not ready for the fart.
No.
I thought for sure
you were going to say no way.
Yeah, I thought for sure you were going to say, I just always have this fear of farting, but, I still go to jujitsu.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she farted.
Yeah. This is the ultimate. Because how do you go back after that?
I don't know.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. Like he would never, like Panda Express.
Yeah.
Haven't been there in 5 years. Like he would never go back because his ATM card didn't work.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Listen, Linda, that's awesome.
You're awesome.
That is so awesome. That is a huge feat. That's Lauren. High fives.
You win.
Yeah, you win.
You win, buddy.
That's really cool. So
I can only imagine farting in that class.
Well, hearing this story, does it make you want to do jujitsu?
No, it doesn't at all. It doesn't.
Sorry, Lauren. I read that and go, no, I'm not doing jujitsu. That's so funny because I would never think,
oh my gosh,
man, I really want to do jujitsu, but like, what if I fart?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, were you worried about someone pressing your stomach and farting, or were you just worried about kicking and then farting, or
just farting? Period.
I know, but like, what would make you do that? Are you a gassy person?
That's what I said. I immediately thought, what did she eat that day?
Are you lactose intolerant?
Maybe we should not eat that day on jujitsu.
You got to fast on those days, girl. No, but that's going back. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
She let it rip and
see, but then I would be thinking, I don't know, even if I should say it, powerful suggestion, I'd be thinking, am I known as the fart girl? I don't know. Like, am I going to go back in there and everyone's like, oh, that's the one that farted?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I would be thinking.
Yeah. I was thinking that before I farted.
Yeah.
I was thinking that before the act of.
Yeah.
That I got to come back here. I still got umpteen amount of lessons I paid for.
You know what? I bet you she goes back. Lauren, I bet you go back because you're kick ass at it, huh? You're like, no fart's going to keep me from this because I'm whooping everyone's ass in there.
Right.
I bet you she's really good at jujitsu.
Or, or maybe
and the fart is not going to stop her. She finally found something she's kick ass at. You know what I mean? I bet you. Lauren, let us know if I'm right.
Probably.
All right, let's jump into the next one.
That's so awesome.
Okay, this next one, oh my gosh, this one was so cute. This is Shy, and her pronouns are she, her. Okay. I have many anxieties, I'm presuming, but one that really gives me anxiety is introducing myself because I have to say, hi, my name is Shy. Because otherwise I just say, hi, I'm Shy. And people look at me funny or will be like, that's okay. Sometimes I'm shy too. Or 9 times out of 10, I mess it up anyway because I get nervous.
Sure.
It makes it so much worse when they have you introduce yourself and then say 3 things about you. One time in an interview, they asked me my name and I forgot it. I know I have so many other ones, but I can't think of them because I don't want to get anxious. I really understand Tate and can relate to him. The podcast is my favorite and I love Thursdays. Shy. Aww.
Dude, I'm just curious how old you were when you realized that, because I just remember being so little, and being in the class and then doing that, and just I couldn't say anything.
Yeah, no,
freezing. And then the teacher actually said, "That's okay." And teacher introduced everyone to me. Oh, this is Tate off Wallow. He whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she said. I just remember her doing it for me. Similar to the story I shared earlier about my dad in church, right?
Yeah.
He did it for me, right? I just remember being frozen. Just
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to say.
Oh, not me. I was like, when is it my turn? Come on. And then if you were in my class, I'd
Me
be like,
first.
yeah. If you were in my class, I'd be like, hurry up.
Today, Junior.
What the hell's taking so long? Jesus, it's my turn. My turn. I cut you off. I was very rambunctious when I was young. But listen, Shy, I can tell you this. Our oldest, Dason, ever heard of her? She grew up the same way. Yeah. She's super introverted. She had a little lisp when she was little. So adorable. But she was so shy. No pun intended. And they would ask her name and she would say, Dason. And then they go, Jason? Or you know what I mean? Yeah. And then she'd be like, and then she would never repeat her name. So I told her one time when she was probably like in the first grade or something, when you say your name and they don't understand what you're saying, just say, it's like Jason, but with a D. And she was like, oh, okay. To this day, she still says it like that. Because people always say, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. What did you say your name was? Crayson, Clayson, Mason? And she's like, they said with a D! You dumb bitch! But she grew up the same way because it was hard for her name. And that's our fault because we made that name up. So there you go. Okay. Thank you, Shy.
She also had such a cute high voice when she was little.
She did. And it was raspy when she was young. So cute. Okay. This one, so cute. This one too. And this one we both resonated with because we were like, oh yeah, we remember those days. Okay. So this is from...
we as in me?
I went to church a lot when I was younger. Shut the hell up. And then I realized what it was, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
When was that? Like a year later?
No, is when my grandfather died. And then I said, peace out, homies. Okay, this is from Amelia, and her pronouns are she, her. She said, as a Samoan, the one thing that I always dreaded was the church meetings. For context, we would always have a youth group meeting for our church once a month to review the upcoming events that we had for members. So whenever the family and our church family gathered around together once a month, I always dreaded passing out the tea and bread mid-meeting. Now listen, in a Samoan church, that's what you did, right? And all the elders, you served them first, right? She said, having to be rushed by 10 other aunties and uncles telling me to go grab food and drinks for those, and up at the tables. Yeah. And then the fear of being told, so this is what Amelia did, right? She would bring like the food and the drink to an elder, right? And then they would go, oh, no, go give it to that auntie or uncle over there. And then she would go over there. And then that person would say, oh, no, go give it to that auntie and uncle there. Because they're being respectful. Yeah. They're like, no, give it to these people first. And so here's Amelia, introvert, going, no, take it over there. No, take it over there. And then she's probably like, fuck, internally. So, and then she said, that got me looking like a headless chicken every time we do this stuff. And I could feel my heartbeat go crazy thinking that I have to pick one. And then hoping that they're not going to be upset because I'm putting my foot down and I'm like, okay, that's enough. You're getting this, right? I would seriously rather be smothered in the jam and butter that they were using on the bread all over me to look like the peanut butter baby rather than do that all over again. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Alofa atu to you and your family.
Dude.
How much did you...
Dude.
You with being an introvert. So me, I would love it. I'd be like, oh, sure, no problem, auntie. I go, here, uncle, auntie, I didn't care.
Sure.
What did you do though?
I would just try not to get hit because if you just put it down and because they're telling you to give it to that person and that person's telling you to give it to this person, you just put it down, they're gonna hit you. Yeah, they're gonna hit you, and then you're gonna go in the back, and then your mom's gonna say, "What's wrong with you?"
And then she's gonna hit you.
And then she's gonna hit you. You know what I mean? So not only are you dealing with anxiety because you're standing in front of everybody, everybody, as in the church and the family, and they're all sitting, looking at you, passing out this food, going back and forth like that girl said, like a chicken with the head cut off, right? Like an idiot. So I'm trying to go here, and then I'll just whisper to Auntie, please take this, right? And I'll put it there, and then she'll hit me like, hey, I told you to take it over there, and I'll just leave it and go, and then my mom gets mad. Yeah. Why did you leave it there? What she said? Yeah, it's just too much. Yeah, you know what I mean? And you're just trying to be respectful of the parents and respectful of the elders, and you're just trying to do the right thing. But there's too many people
telling you what to do, and then you don't know what to do, and then you have anxiety because you're an introvert.
Yeah. And then you can't show that.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to get hit. Right? But you still make the wrong thing. You still get hit. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And I don't know about you, but in our church, they would sit like in a circle they would put all the tables together like a big kind of like rectangle. So you're in the middle and you're like walking around trying to, right? Yeah.
But when I did it, we were in Samoa and everyone was on the floor.
Yeah.
They're just in the open house, and we're just like running in there trying to do the right thing. You know?
Well, Amelia, we send you our love. I'm not an introvert, but I had to go through that too, and I got slapped a couple times because I was like, I'm over this shit, dude. Take it.
You just throw it on the ground.
I just gave it to here you go, and they're like, hey, I'm out. All right, and then I go in the back and beat someone else up because I'm like, if I get hit, everybody gets hit. All right, the next one is from Laura, and her pronouns are she, her, hers. And Laura said, my anxiety that will persist no matter what is making important phone calls. The dentist, the doctor's office, and any other officials.
This is so good.
Nowadays, you can do a lot online by online forms and such. But Laura, this one made me laugh.
Yes.
She said, I would rather jump down from a burning building into water filled with sharks than make phone calls.
Can't do it.
She said, I always have to write down word for word what I want to say and go over it numerous times before actually calling. And still my hands would be shaking. I hate it here. And I assume she says I hate it here as in the world of anxiety. Yeah. Right?
I just threw away all my bill papers over here.
Yeah.
And because I had to call one of them the other day because I told you I was going to take care of it. And on there, I wrote down exactly what I was going to say. I wrote it down exactly what I was going to say, what I wanted to know, and I kept reading it over and over and over and over.
Before you called?
Before I called. And then I called, and I got put on hold, and I never got through. What a fucking waste. But I was able to do it via text through a virtual assistant, and I took care of it that way. And I was like, fuck, I wish I would have known they had that, but they didn't have it. I don't remember seeing it. Anyways, I saw it, I took care of it. But I totally, because I just did it. I threw the paper away already, but I just fucking did it.
Listen, that gives me anxiety just knowing how long it takes you to make one phone call.
Yeah.
Like, I get it because I know, but I didn't know you write shit out.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
No.
But Tanya also told me the same thing. She didn't tell me she writes things out, but she says it gives, like, she'd rather jump off a burning building into a water tank full of sharks.
Yeah.
Same thing, because she hates talking to people.
Yeah. What now, as I pay bills now, it's all through automated systems. It's all through, like, there's always a virtual assistant. So since that came about, like, what now I'm in there. Woo! Yeah, I'm in there sipping coffee, listening to music, relaxing, right? Whereas before it had to be all fucking quiet, right? Where I could write it all down, remember everything, and then talk to people, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now I absolutely love it. And then it's always the same thing. If I have to call someone, I'm like,
I have since doing this. Yeah. In the last 3 days, I have such a newfound respect for you guys that are introverts. I'm not even joking.
Sure.
Because reading all of these to me like, oh my gosh, thinking that I have to practice what I'm gonna say and write it down. Like, I'm boring. I'm already like, I'm checked out. It's too much. Like, for me, like, I just want to boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? But on the flip side of that, you guys have a system. So like, you're probably looking at me going, you're fucking crazy. How do you do it like that?
Yeah.
How do you just pick up the phone? And I'm the one who goes, yeah, you know what? You're not helping me. I need to talk to your manager. Like, I'm that bitch.
I can't do that either, man.
I know. Everyone in my family makes me do that.
I can't.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So wait, before I read another one, I was talking to Tanya about this because she's like an introvert.
Sure.
And we went to the gym this morning, and I go, hey, first thing when I saw her, I go, hey, I have a question for you. She's like, what? I go, if you and I went to a restaurant and they sat us at a table and they brought us water, they brought us menus, and then they left, and I looked at you and I said, I don't like this table. Can we move? Would that give you anxiety? She goes, don't play with me. Yeah. She She goes, I'm getting anxiety just listening to you. She goes, Anthony does that all the time.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't see my face.
I do see your face.
When we go in the restaurant, you say, I don't like this seat. I want to sit somewhere. You don't see my face?
I do see your face, but guess what?
I don't care.
You're 6'6", and they sit you in a tiny booth that
I'll make it work, man. I'll make it work, babe. I'm gonna make it work.
I know you will. But you know what? It's gonna bother me the whole time watching how uncomfortable you are.
Sure.
So I'd rather you just be anxious for 5 seconds, let us move, settle down, we're good.
Yeah.
And then we have a good time. We did that in Vegas.
We did.
We just went to Vegas 2 weeks ago. We went to go this really nice Japanese restaurant. We got there right when it opened. And like around 5 o'clock, they sat us right in the middle. And I was like, he's going to be so embarrassed because everyone that walks in is going to walk right by our table. So I didn't even tell you. When the lady came back, I said, hey, do you mind if we sit in that booth over there? And I saw your face, but I just don't engage. We get up and leave.
Yeah.
And Tanya was like, Anthony does that all the time. And I go, like, all the time? And she's like, yeah, 9 times out of 10, whenever we go somewhere, he has to move tables. And I'm like, well, maybe that's an OCD thing because I only do that when I know he's uncomfortable or I don't like to sit by the kitchen or by the bathrooms. That's gross.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my, hey, do you guys get anxiety when I do this? Yes, we do. Okay. The next one is from Alexis. Alexis goes by they, them. And they said talking, this one made me laugh. I think I read this one too. Talking during a meeting, we are literally all talking about the same thing, which is the whole point of a meeting. But every time I feel like my brain got wiped and it's the first time in my life ever forming a sentence. It's like leaving a voicemail, but 10 times worse in live. So that made me laugh because you're in a meeting with your coworkers and you still get anxiety.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
All the time. When I was a sheriff and we had
briefings.
We had meetings with all the guys and we were talking about what's going on. And I was working a specific area and they're asking me what was it like the last shift, and I got to tell them, and I got to talk about it, and it's in front of everybody, and then my voice shakes, and then I look down at the ground, and it's just awful. It's just
which is crazy because you act like that in a meeting when you were a sheriff, but when shit went down, it was like you were an extrovert immediately.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that just like a fight or flight thing? Or?
No, because I think in certain situations,
you don't have a choice.
I don't like in that, like whatever was happening.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a choice.
Yeah,
I have to.
Just go time.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But that's funny in a meeting that you work with all your coworkers and you guys still
I see every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they know who I am, and it's not like we're strangers. No, we've been working together for years.
Yeah.
But because I have to speak out in front of everyone,
and
I got to talk about what's happening, what's going on, it just, like, if I could just do one-on-one, can I just do one-on-one, guys?
They're all, no, hurry up.
I got to take my turn.
All right, this one was a good one.
Let me go first because this guy's going to take forever.
Tait, you get to go last. And by the time they get to you, they're like, never mind, we have it all.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's from Parker, and her pronouns are she, her. And she said, on the first day of school, when they would make us go around the room and each say our name and a fun fact about ourselves.
Oh, my God.
Even worse, if we had to stand up while doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The dread. She put it in all caps. Oh, my God. The dread as I was waiting for my turn. I wasn't even listening to everyone else because I was too busy rehearsing my answer in my head.
Oh, man, I feel you so much.
That's what you just said earlier.
I feel you so much on that.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, I feel you so
Parker,
much.
you have a friend in Tait.
Oh, my gosh.
Aw. Okay.
That's the worst thing.
Oh, man, this one was so funny. Okay, we'll do this. And this will be our last one, and then we're going to make a part 2.
Yeah.
But this one was from Erica. And her pronouns are she, her. She said, when my food or grocery delivery comes, I get so nervous to grab the food before the driver has completely left. So she's basically saying, I usually wait till they leave.
Sure.
Because she gets too nervous to go out there mid delivery, right?
Yeah.
She said, I waited 5 minutes one time just looking out my door peephole for the guy to fully leave because he took a break and started FaceTiming his friends outside my apartment to plan a party. He's like, yeah, bro, bring the keg. And she's like, hurry up. My ice cream's melting through the people. Fuck. Hurry up.
Fuck out of here. I'm hungry.
I want to know what kind of party it was. That's funny.
That's me.
She's like eavesdropping, looking at him through the people,
Yeah.
cussing his ass out. Hurry up, motherfucker. I need my groceries. But you do that too.
Same. I won't touch it until they drive away.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
And you know who does that too? Donnie.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is the one time I was doing it here at the house. I was looking and you were yelling, "Hey, what are you doing?" I go, "He hasn't left yet." You know, what?
Can you imagine the 6'6" fucking Sasquatch out the peephole going, and he's like leaning into it with his chest out. I'm like, "What are you?" And I didn't yell. I just said, "What are you doing?"
No, you were saying, "What's taking so long?" Because it was food.
No, I said, "What are you doing?" Because I was watching him going. I just saw him like you're kind of like your chest was out, looking through the peephole, and he didn't even flinch. He goes, "He's not gone yet. He's still putting it on the porch."
I'm waiting for him to leave.
I was like, "Oh my God, move!"
He's
Opening the
taking
door.
forever.
And then he's putting down the last bag. I'm like, "Thank you," and I just scoop everything up and bring it to the house. I'm like, "You're killing me, Smalls." Oh man, that was freaking cool.
Dude.
You guys are awesome. I'm not even joking. I have such a newfound respect for all of you guys.
I do.
This is so crazy.
This is gives me confidence, I think.
Yeah.
It
If there's
helped-
other people.
Yeah, dude, I swear to God, dude, I felt like I was the only one.
Yeah.
I swear for the longest.
You did say that today when we were reading
I
some of
feel
these.
like I'm freaking 52 years old, man, and I'm dealing with this bullshit, but it feels good because I'm not the only one. And there's a lot of people that have, if not harder than me, or struggle with it. And what I want to do in the next episode is share the stupid shit I come up with in my head to push me. Like I shared earlier about the car wash. Like she says she'll say we're gonna record today in the morning, and all day I'm just like a wreck thinking about it. But I prepare myself. I keep telling myself it's okay. It's not a big deal. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know, go to the car wash. If it takes 1,000 times to put that thing in neutral, then it's going to take you 1,000 times to put it in neutral.
Well, let me tell you guys this. I heard this from Dason, and then she heard this she has a lot of anxiety. So she heard this from her therapist. He said, if you have these anxious thoughts, because think about it, having anxiety is thinking about the future.
Sure.
What if, right? Having depression is thinking about the past, right? So he said, if you have anxiety about something, like, let's just say, when you go to the gym and you think everybody's looking at you, what if everybody's looking at me? He said, tell yourself, let's embrace that, right? What if everybody's looking at me? What does that mean? How am I going to handle that? Okay, so if that happens and someone looks at me, I'm just going to say, oh, they're looking at me, and that's okay. And I'm okay. So he's basically telling her to embrace the anxiety, acknowledge it, and then when you acknowledge it, you take the power of the anxiety away. Sure. And then you're able to move forward.
Yeah. It'll feel like, because I know what that means. I think I've practiced that a little bit. It'll feel like when you acknowledge it, it'll feel like you're giving into it a little bit. And it'll feel like it's getting stronger. But if you still just go through with it, it's not as bad as you think. Does that make sense?
I mean, it does, but I hear you. Because I'm like, no.
I don't understand.
What? Like, I hear that and I go, oh, like, yeah, like, what? So what? Someone's looking at me. I don't care. But that's me. That's an extrovert responding to that. That's why it took me a minute to kind of think about my words, what I was going to say.
Sure.
And that's not the right thing to say because that's not what's going through your head.
No.
Yeah. So I get it. And it does make sense.
It does.
But it really made a lot of sense to me when he told her, acknowledge it. Like, oh, yeah. And what if they do?
Yeah.
Are you going to die? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I tell myself.
They have lasers coming out of their eyes.
Shut
They're gonna
up.
cut me in half.
But honestly, the one thing I do know is when, like, the whole looking, I think that's one of the biggest things that you have is people looking at you, right?
Sure.
And you being perceived.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. We're talking about introverts. Who cares about extroverts? Yes, I acknowledge you, and I have a newfound respect for all of you guys because I think you have caught to a lot more being an introvert and the things that you go through to me more in the last month than you have in the 30 plus years we've been together.
Well, because I understand what it is now, more so than anything. I used to just think, what is this? Why do I feel like I feel stupid? Like it would make me feel stupid.
Yeah.
Especially with you being such an extrovert and me wanting to those things, be able to do those things. So I would.
Did you think something was wrong with you?
No, I didn't think anything was wrong with me. I just thought, man, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And but I wish I could do it. So I thought, well, it's going to rub off one of these days because we're going to be together for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's still there, but it's not as bad as it used to be. It still comes and goes. And I just try to, like I said earlier, battle it a little bit, confront it a little bit. And then, like the therapist said earlier, embrace it and then move on,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's easier said than done. Cause me, I'm like, yeah.
Your face is like, what's the problem?
And I promise I'm not.
No, I know.
I'm not being disrespectful.
Yeah.
That was just my knee jerk reaction.
Yeah.
Like, huh? But going back to you and I'm like, you don't have to do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah. For the longest.
Yeah.
But you have to admit that it was just a crutch. I had to eventually learn how to, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because then it interfered with our relationship sometimes. I'm like, get it together, man. The fuck? And look at us now.
I know.
Okay, we're going to end it there, but we are so happy that you guys are still coming back to our podcast, and we hope this podcast and hopefully part 2 will help all of you, our little introvert ants out there. Just seeing it in someone else, of your stature, because I was telling Tanya today, I was like, look at Tait, like this giant human being across the gym. I cannot believe you would never look at him and think that guy's an introvert.
Yeah.
Ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just know you guys are not alone. You are in good company, and you got people like me ready to fight in the front yard if anybody tells you anything. Okay. So we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode 13, and we'll be back with episode 14 with a part 2. All right. We'll see you guys later. Love you. Bye.